Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless 8, and now we're going to take a look at the good old Russell 2000, the most hated index in the world, um, small cap, and my words, U.S. small cap infantry. So, my members, subscribers who have been with me, and a very warm welcome to all the new ones that signed on recently. Um, this is one of my favorite indexes. I tend to trade Russell and options, IWM, RUTs, both on the long and short side, primarily on the long side, and I have done extremely well on that. I do show the series that I normally play in, and people know very well how they move. They can move anywhere from the 100 to 300% over a period, or a very short period, sometimes intraday if there's large volatility in the market. Generally, rule of the thumb says if it's a 100-point move on the Dow, let's say up, those Russell calls gotten in the morning would be up about anywhere from you know 60 to 80%. So, saying all that, let's take a look here. I have been a very strong proponent of the fact that the Russell 2000 would find some sort of support at the upwardly sloping 50-week moving average, this red line. It has, and it has with force. I do not believe, and again, I reserve the right to be wrong, that's the market and I'm a trader, that the Russell 2000 is going to break 1074 over the next couple of weeks. What happens going forward beyond July, beyond late June, I can't tell you. That I'll report to you as I see it. But at this point, unless we have a real calamity, breaking below 1100 and then taking out, or let's say breaking below 1090, 1088, 1090, and then taking out 1078, let's say over the next week to 2 weeks, seems unlikely. I could be eating my own words, but just seems unlikely. Now, why do I say that? I just don't say things off the cuff. It's very important for me to have have some backup, validation on why I say these things and why a lot of my predictions are very accurate. Number one, if you look at pattern symmetry and please follow this arrow, and you look at what happened here, that was the first week in February. I've highlighted this many times, but this is for the benefit of a lot of the newer members who have come in. I'm going to interject one thing here. It's very, very, very critical if you want to be a good, successful trader, that you understand how indices and work, because once you can understand how indices work, whether it's the Russell 2000, whether it's the Nasdaq Composite, or whether it's the biotech index, or the S&P 500, it gives you a much clearer idea of how to trade the power stocks within those indices. It's really as simple as that, okay? So here we are. We have a reversal candle, a strong one, and then we had 4 weeks which just took us to new highs, okay? Here we have a reversal doji indecision, then a powerful candle off the lows, okay, which almost came to these lows but didn't quite, bounced off the 50-day. Now we're kissing, we have gone over, keep in mind, we have gone over this orange line, which is the 34-week moving average. Very, very, very important. We're over that. Now we are basically I'm sorry, we are over the 9 line, 9-week moving average. We are kissing the 34, and once we're over the 34, we're going to attack this downtrend line, which I've said for weeks now would happen and is happening now, or in motion so far, of around 1150. Once, if, very important, if we break 1150 and it follows this type of pattern, okay? Here also, you had the same extreme negative banter, okay? the Armageddon scenario, that the U.S. small cap market is dead, blah 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 blah. So and U.S. business growth, small businesses are just not going to survive, and all kinds of good talk. I don't believe that. So if that breaks, then we are going to basically enter this zone, which I would call the bear kill or the short kill zone, and we most probably get up here, which is a low probability trade, but can happen. And if it happens, it's going to be fast and furious. There's no looking back. So my prediction has come right. Done very well with that. However, we have yet to see if this is a valid move. Now, why do I think it's a valid move? The internal is suggesting it is a valid move. Okay, these type of crossovers don't just die out in one day. Anything can happen, but we got to go by what we see. So far, McClellan, the stochastic, very simple overbought oversold indicators are telling me that we are going to basically get overbought at around 95. We're at 45, and that would most probably bring us to this 1150, 1162 area, in which case, the tide turns a bit. If these lines completely turn, which will take a lot of work, in that case, we're just going to basically continue this massive uptrend, and God knows where we go with the Russell 2000. Downside is we break below the 1100 level, take out this support level here, this yellow line, and then we come below and test 1040. Again, if that kind of scenario is starting to unfold, I am not going to hesitate one bit. I will go ahead and alert all my members and subscribers to jump into the IWM RUT puts and just sit there and print money. Okay, so it's never easy, but that's what's going on now. There's a lot of macro factors which are supporting this move. I'm not going into economics today. I'm just sticking to charts. Okay, we'll do the economic stuff and the commentaries and stuff in either tomorrow's video cast or the day after. Okay, so stay tuned for that. All right, so that's Russell. Let's take a quick look at the Nasdaq. I got 3 minutes on this video. 10-minute slots on these things. Nasdaq. Okay, calm. Bear with me 1 second. Bingo. So here's a bunch of lines here drawn from last time, so you can clearly see this was the channel. Okay, we kept to the channel. This is great. Okay, this was drawn from last week. Here's the downtrend line. Guess what the Nasdaq's doing? Taking over the downtrend line here. It's slightly above that. Bingo. Exactly what I said. So, did I know this was going to happen? Absolutely not. Did I think it was going to happen? It was a high probability trade that the Nasdaq would basically really make a strong attempt to do what it needs to do and at least go over the 34 moving average, week moving average in this case, or the 34-day moving average. Absolutely. Strong showing in Apple, Google, Priceline, Netflix, Amazon, Tesla, you name it. A lot of stocks, Facebook, we've made money on, still making money in, and those are the ones which propelled us. So here we're looking very good here. We got to take us the downtrend line here at around 41.90, and we're going to stay above it. We just can't slip back. If we slip back, we're in trouble. If we slip back, then we are going to basically take out 40.44, and after that we're going to come down here and test 38.68. So that's going to be a pretty ugly move. Can happen, so just keep an eye. But so far, from what it looks like, we're going to go higher into the zone where we're most probably going to come back and test around 4,300 on the Nasdaq. And if things really move and work out, and this type of pattern develops here, off the, let's see when the last time it moved over the uptrend line was, the last time was here and here. Look what happened after that. We did come and touch the upper Bollinger. See the gray line here? So pretty simple chart reading, but very powerful. Very powerful. Takes a lot of discipline to understand these things and stick with the trade. That's the hardest part, because every little jerk in the market we get thrown out, and then we sit back and say, what the hell, we didn't, we weren't in Priceline when it was up $50. Okay, I don't need to remind anyone on that. So so keep a very close eye here. We break up over 4,200 on the Nasdaq. We're basically moving into the zone and possibly moving towards making all-time new high, or at least touching the all-time high at around 43.77. Nasdaq's looking damn good, strong. Thank you.